Hey there, welcome back. Now let us talk about limit offset pagination. Now this is an important concept when you are working with client because you give more customization to get the exact information that they want. Before diving deep into this theory, let me talk about few other important points. So when we are working with this limit offset pagination, we have two important terms, which is limit and the second one is offset. Now limit help us to define how many items we want and offset help us to define from where we want. So suppose we have 17 items currently, and if I say limit is 5, that means I want 5 items, and then if I say the offset is 12, so that means I need 5 items after 12. So this is going to work really well. Take another example, maybe we have 100 items. Let us set limit as 10 and offset as 50. So we are going to get 10 items after the 50 item. So we have 100 elements. After the first 50 elements, we are going to extract the 10 elements according to our limit. You are going to understand this concept more after taking the proper example. So first, let me try to describe this URL. This is the limit which is defining the number of items we need to fetch. And this is the offset which is defining from which position we need to select the item or we need to access the item. So that's it. That's the whole concept. Let me try to import this one, which is limit offset pagination. I'm going to do everything inside my pagination.py. Let me import this and I'm going to create a new class and going to call this as limit offset LO pagination. Let me copy this one. Now we need to set a default size. So on first call, if I visit this page, which is my list 2 page directly, we need to load some elements. So that's where this default call is going to work. If I jump here, scroll down a bit, this is our default limit. We need to set that. And I'm going to set this as 5 for now. So let me use this. Instead of our current pagination, I'm going to utilize this pagination. Save this one, scroll up and also import this one. Yep, I'm using this. Jump here, send a request. Now you can see how they are going to work. So this is the first page where we don't have any type of limit and offset defined on the URL. So we are counting element from 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 5. So here you can see we have first 5 object. Now if I click on this page number 2, you can see now these are our next 5 object. But here the interesting thing is our limit is 5 for the next page and offset is 10. Let me load this one. And here you can see we have 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. And if you see the previous one, we have an offset value of 5. Now we can change these limit if we want. Now here we can change the limit, we can customize it and also give power to user, that means our client, to customize these things. So if I jump here on our documentation, we then have these values to customize things. The default value that we give was 5, but if I try to use any other value, maybe let me try to visit this page number 1, and if I want to change this limit, all I have to do is instead of this 5 I can use anything else. So maybe I can have this 10 elements and from offset of 2. Let me send a request. Now here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm loading 10 elements after the second position. So this is going to work great. And remember, they are in a sequence. So they are in a sequence from our database itself. If you remember here, we are loading, this is going to be the first, then this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth and keep on following. So we are loading like that. Now there are few other customization. Let me jump here. We have this max limit. The first thing is at currently we have no max limit. We entered 10 Let me try to enter 17 and let me give offset as 2 itself. Let me send a request and I'm able to extract everything. So you can see there is no next. And even if I remove offset, that means I need to start from the first element itself. Send a request, now there is no next because all the elements are there. There is no previous and that's it. So I need to set a limit, the maximum limit a user can send. I can utilize that. So here let me use this max limit. And I'm going to utilize the max limit as 10. Now in usual case, what I do is I take page size as 10 and then max limit as 50. It's according to you. Here we have only few elements right now in our database. That's why I'm taking these small examples, small values. Now the next thing, the next two parameters that I want to discuss is this limit query param and offset query param. By default, we have this term limit and offset. So if you remember, this limit equals to 5 and then we have offset equals to 5. This limit and offset, we can just change them. So usually we use limit and then we use start instead of offset. So people or user or maybe a newbie is more comfortable. Offset don't give any type of hint. So I'm going to call this as limit itself, but I'm going to call this offset as start. So let me jump here, let me close this one, send a fresh request. That's how it is going to work. So I hope you got the idea how we are trying to access information. That's it. That's all about limit offset pagination. And this works well when we need to send response to another client, not normal user. Like for Amazon, we are not going to utilize any type of limit. But when we need to share our API with other clients, maybe for example this cryptocurrency API. Let me load this one. So here is one result from CoinMarketCap API. So I have a proper account on developer API. So if you want to test this out, scroll down a bit, go on to crypto API, then you have to do certain registration. But if you have experience with API, you can get this. So this is my API. This is version 1. So that means they have a proper app. Consider we create a proper app. Instead of this, we create a proper app. And inside our URL, instead of this watch, I can use V1. That is going to be my version 1. And this can be related to their cryptocurrency app. Instead of our maybe watch list underscore app, they might have a cryptocurrency app. And inside their URL, they are going to have something related to their cryptocurrency. So this is their app. You can consider this for their version 1 cryptocurrency. Then we have listing, latest, and you can see they have start 1 and limit 5. So this is the result for 5 elements from 1 to 5. And then they also take some other parameters according to their own requirement. So that's how they use. If I try to change this limit from 5 to maybe 3 and send a request, you can see the result is decreased. If I try to change this result from 3 to 500, now you can see I got a big bunch of data. So this is how professional website owners use this. Now you are not going to utilize this on Amazon. You don't care about this. You have Pagination which load 10 to 50 items. That's it. But this is a specific client requirement. I use this CoinMarketCap API for my own portfolio manager project. I use this for my own client projects. So this works well because I pay CoinMarketCap to have these settings. On free account they give I guess 300 requests, but on paid account they give more customization as well as request. So I hope you got the idea. Normal website don't have these settings, but some professional website have. So it depends on your requirement. I really wanted to discuss this topic regarding limit as well as this offset as well as start, something like this. Most students are not aware about this, so I really wanted to include this in course. So that's all for this lecture. I hope you got the idea about limit offset pagination. Now in the next lecture, I'm going to talk about cursor pagination. This is going to be an interesting one. Why? Because now we are trying to bring ordering along with pagination together. So we'll be talking about this more in the next lecture. Thank you for following, and I see you guys in the next one.